In the lead up to the release of the newest installment in the DCEU, Black Adam, one thing was obvious. The critics were not big fans of this movie. As soon as that review embargo lifted, the reviews came flooding in, and we saw the results on Rotten Tomatoes. 47%, it jumped up to 50, 53, then back down to 45, but right around that area. Critics not big fans of this movie, but the real question would be, how does the audience feel about it? And after opening night for Black Adam, it's safe to say that yet again, the critics and the audience are completely at odds, because over on Rotten Tomatoes, you can see with 500 verified reviews, Black Adam ended 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. That critic score down to 45%. And more interestingly, when you go to top critics, the ones from the really well-established mainstream media outlets, that is all the way down to 28%. They are really not liking this movie in any way, shape, or form, but it looks like the audience is enjoying themselves. And one of the things you do have to wonder is how many people were going to this movie? How many people decided to go and got excited just because The Rock said, hey, listen, we listened to the fans and we're bringing back this character that you absolutely love. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil it right now because they want you to know this. They want you to know it's out there. Here's your last warning. 3, 2, 1. Henry Cavill is back as Superman in this movie, albeit in a post-credit scene. It has literally no effect on the movie whatsoever. From my understanding, it was only shot a month or two ago, and they put it in at the last second. But Henry Cavill is making his return as Superman for DC, but it certainly seems like people are excited about it. Now, for me, I went and saw it last night, and go check out my review on my second channel, RK Outpost Live. Seems like a lot of people are interested in that movie as well. Pretty good for my second channel over there. I think that this score is pretty fucking high. Now, I think it's kind of like a Transformers movie almost. A lot of action, a lot of fucking really cool stuff going on. But when it comes to the plot line, a little bit lacking. The funny thing is, if this was a Marvel movie, if this got released with the word MCU on it, Marvel Cinematic Universe, blah, 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 this would be up at 80, 90%. There is no fucking doubt in my mind that this critic score, if it had Disney's backing, if it had the MCU stamp on it, it would be fresh. There's not a question about it, because there's not that much of a difference between a movie like this and a lot of the other stuff that Marvel's been putting out lately. I gave it a 5 out of 10 on my review. Go check it out for my full thoughts, full spoiler review. But I thought it was fine. I thought it was cool action. You know, you're going to go to see a lot of explosions, a lot of CGI stuff. If that's what you're into, it's going to be a fun trip to the theater. I wish there would have been more actual plot and story development. But again, full thoughts, go to RK Outpost Live. But what is this going to mean for Black Adam? Because as many people can review it positively on Rotten Tomatoes, I almost dropped my drink. As many people can review it positively on Rotten Tomatoes as they want. But at the end of the day, who's actually going to go out to see it? That's the question. And right now, global box office needs a hero. Black Adam raging to 135 million worldwide opening. That might sound impressive, but that is not impressive for a movie that of this budget, that costs this much to make, that needs to make $500 million worldwide just to break even. Because when you're looking at 135 million worldwide, you're talking about effectively the same thing internationally as domestically, according to predictions right now. The predictions I'm seeing before this, it actually hit theaters, was $60 to $70 million range domestically, potentially only $150, $170 million domestic run total. That's not good enough for this movie. It simply is not. That's going to be considered a failure for this movie. I've said this week after week after week, and as much as a lot of people have got upset at me that I've been saying that, that's the reality of the situation. You see over here on Collider, Black Adam set to dethrone Michael Myers with $60 million projected opening domestically. Of course, it's going to be number one at the box office. Of course, it's going to be, have numbers that they're going to try to brag about are incredible when you look at the international numbers. But the reality of the situation is, financially, you can compare this movie to The Batman. The Batman cost $200 million to make. Black Adam cost just under that, $195 million production budget. Marketing costs likely somewhat similar. This movie went to HBO Max 45 days after it came out in theaters. Its domestic opening was $134 million. Over twice of what we're looking at right now with the projections for Black Adam. Now, could this have an effect? I think so. I think this could have big positive word of mouth for Black Adam. It could get more people out to the theater. Maybe it has a great second weekend hold. But in reality, when you are looking at that had a great second weekend hold. That had a pretty good run. And at the end of the day, made $67 million worldwide, made a nice profit for DC. If Black Adam doesn't at least do something more than projections, get in that $80 million range potentially domestically, then I think Warner Brothers is going to have to worry when it comes to this movie. I don't think it's as bad as the critics are saying. I also don't think that this score is really reflective of the type of movie this is. It's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. We're going to see some cool action, stuff like that. Don't expect anything deep from it. That's all I'll say. What do you guys think about the big split between the critics and the audience? And what do you think is going to happen with Black Adam in the box office? Because it's going to be number one. It's going to be number one globally. There's no question about that. But this movie needs to do big numbers for DC to be profitable. At least $500 million worldwide. And with an opening like this, it's going to be a struggle. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.